the next question, and maybe this is what I was saying about there. I have to have a budget as a family member.
Sure.
My family, your family, have a budget. What's the difference between the federal government budget and our family budget?
I think that's an excellent question. And first of all, good for you for having a family budget. Yeah, I have one too. It's really important that we all have a budget so that we stay on track, right? Because we all earn money if we're going to work. And then we know what bills we have to pay, right? So probably in your family budget, much like mine, is either your rent or your mortgage payment, your utilities, things like paying for the gas, the water, the heating, whatever it might be. Food is going to be in your budget, probably paying for your telephone. Maybe you have a car payment if you're somebody who owns a car, and all of those things. And then if we're lucky, we have some extra money left over, right, for fun things. We might want to go on a trip. We might want to take a class. We might want to do maybe some home improvement, new kitchen or extension on the house or what have you. So we have to watch our budgets very carefully. So there are many similarities between congressional budget and our family's budget. Congress works similarly in that there are numbers that are laid out and there are caps. The Budget Control Act of 2011 sets caps on where we can spend. So right now, everything has to fit under that cap. So that would be just like you at home saying, well, we have a certain amount of money and we have to spend within that amount of money, because if we don't, we'll be in debt. We'll owe money to people, right? And that's never a good thing. Well, we don't want to owe money from our country either. We have a lot of debt that our country owes to other places. So here's where there are two things that are a little bit different. One is about that debt and how do we manage that debt and sometimes have to exceed it. And sometimes in the federal budget, we do. And so then we owe more money to those that give us the money. And so something that's going to happen this year, another one of those big fancy words that none of us really understood until a few years ago, is sequestration. When you sequester something, it's like you take it and you set it aside. So in order to keep our debt down, Congress wants to have us again this year sequester some of that money to help pay down our debt. That sounds like it's a smart thing to do, but it can also be a hurtful thing to do. Like you said, sometimes it's not fair because it means that many of our programs that do really good work might lose some of their money this year. So that's one thing that's different. Here's the second thing that's different. Let's say you are operating very well within your budget at home, but then you and your husband decide you want to go on a vacation. So you have to think about, well, how can we afford that vacation? So maybe you're able to take some money out of savings, or maybe you say, I'll pick up some extra work. I'll get a part-time job at a local shop, and I'll make money, and when we save up enough money, then we can go on the vacation. Congress doesn't work that way. You can't pick up an extra job. There is no savings to pull from. So when we hear the president say on national television, I want $54 billion for defense, we have to say, well, where are you going to get that money from? There's no new money coming in. In your personal budget, you'll bring new money in. You'll try to earn more. Maybe you'll ask your boss for a raise, or you'll get that extra job, or you'll take from your savings. In the congressional budget, there's nowhere to take it from. So it means that if we're going to stay within the budget caps, somebody's line is going to get cut.
Oh my God. And that's really scary because you know who gets cut.
Yeah,
some.
you're right, Liz. The experience, the years of doing this will tell us that often it's health programs, it's disability programs, it's education programs that get hurt the most.
Okay. The next question and the last question is, what can we do to help?
That's also a great question, and I know that there's so many advocates who watch your videos every week and are so active, and you know, we count on you people. We all have to get very busy right now, and here's what we all need to do, and it's to tell our stories. Members of Congress are there to represent their constituents, the people who live in their state or their district. And it's up to us to call on them, whether it's by phone, or it's going to visit them on Capitol Hill, or maybe it's visit their office at home. So you can do that at home too. Or you can go to town hall meetings when members come home for breaks. They were just on a recess period last week. They'll be back in their home districts again. Certainly in April, around the Easter Passover time. So it's really important to get your voice heard and to go and tell your members of Congress what you need. It's not even about the numbers. It's about talking about what's important to you in your life. And to say, Congressman or Senator, I need you to help take care of me. I am trying to get an education, or I want my child to be able to go on to college, or I want to get a job. And there are great programs out there that help people with disabilities to find employment or to get supports and services that they need to live independently. Don't cut those programs. That's what you really want to do, is to use your voice and tell policymakers what's important to you.
Okay, thank you. And if you have any more questions or comments about this week's Tuesdays with Liz, please leave them in the space below. If you have any questions about this or any other policy issues, please go to the AUCD webpage and look for this week's In Brief. And thank you and have a nice day. Thanks again, Donna.
It was my pleasure, Liz. Thanks for having me.
Bye.